right. Brian Particelli, toofab.com here. How you both doing today?
I like your background. Looks
Right?
good.
Thank you. I had to get to the castle myself.
There you go.
And now, Brandi, you're obviously no stranger to reality and reality competition shows. Arie, I think outside of The Bachelor, you haven't done quite as much. But, for each of you, did you have concerns or were you hesitant to join this show in particular? Or what made you, what convinced you?
Honestly, I want to do a competition show where I had time to prepare. And with this, I was given enough heads up where I could actually do some studying and feel like I was 100% prepared going in. So I was like, I want to win, obviously, something.
Yeah, for me, I watched a little bit of the Dutch version. I was
Okay.
born in Holland, so I had a little bit of, I don't know if an advantage, but I got to see the whole season. And it was pretty cool. So I was like, dang, this show is really interesting. And it's so unlike anything I've ever done before. So I was like, this would be a really fun experience.
Yeah, how was it, being thrown back into the reality TV world and, not being the prize yourself?
It was so nice, to be honest. It was like so much less pressure. It felt like it was a very intense game. And the game is really something that tests everything. You have to not trust anyone.
Right.
You have to, you might have to do a little deceiving here and there. You got to plant some seeds. You got to win these missions. But it felt really great to be kind of one of many cast members rather than the one everyone's watching. So it was cool.
And for both of you, when you found out who else was going to be on the cast with you, was there anyone you were really excited to meet and anyone maybe you were worried you wouldn't get along with or you would clash with?
Well, I don't know about you, but I didn't find out who was on the show until I arrived in Scotland.
Yeah.
Okay.
Until you were like waiting to see who comes, walks down the stairs next. But
Yep.
I was excited about everyone. There wasn't one person that I was like, oh gosh, I don't know, I don't want to see those people because I am a fan of reality TV. As much as I'm on it, I do like all the shows and I like watching all the shows. So I was just excited to be here and play.
Yeah, same for me. We didn't find out until we were
Right.
actually filming, so it was kind of cool. It was like a surprise for us as well. It was fun to see Ryan Lochte. It was like, oh yeah, that's cool. Like, obviously followed his Olympic journey, and then also I wasn't a huge Survivor fan, but ever since doing this show, I've
Right.
gone back and now watched Survivor. Now I'm like kind of a big Survivor fan, so it's cool to be in the same group with everybody.
And Brandi, obviously, your lack of filter maybe has gotten you in trouble with people in the past. Did you find that was the case here? Or was it kind of smoother sailing for you than usual?
Well, I did my best to work on myself and not to tell people exactly how I felt about them in the moment because that wasn't going to do me any favors here. I learned the hard way in Big Brother. So I really just did, I know you might not believe this, but I held back quite a bit and was just trying to play the middle of the road friends with everyone and just be funny and outgoing and not too honest.
And it seems like you and Kate are really close now, or close. I don't know if you were friends before this, but just looking at your social media, it looks like you guys have been.
Building.
Yeah, trauma bonding.
Trauma
bonding.
Yes, like when you go to jail or rehab with someone, you end up you share that with that person.
Exactly.
And you will always have that. We became such close friends so quickly because of this trauma that we all went through.
Yes, we all trauma bonded on
Yes.
Traitors.
And when you do kind of see the other people who are thrown into the mix, the quote unquote normal people, the non-reality stars, were any of them super fans of either of your shows? Were they trying to get information out of you, gossip out of you about being on Bachelor or Housewives, anything like that?
There was a few. Yeah, there was a few, I was like, oh my God. I was in a train with a few, like Angelica. She was like, oh my gosh, that's Brandi. And she had this huge crush on Cody, actually, which is hilarious. So she, I was like, oh, she's never going to vote Cody because she's got a huge crush on him. So that was kind of funny. There was this a little bit of a weird dynamic between the reality TV personalities and they called them civilians, which I think is kind of
Okay.
we did not name them that. But it created almost like the reality side almost was at a disadvantage because we had this preconceived notion about us. So as soon as the gameplay started, we really had to figure out, okay, we have to get to know these individuals and get them on our side to not get voted out.
Right. And how do we hocus pocus, change the focus from what people think of us? Like, you know, people think a certain way of me, a certain way of Arie, and you want to show them a different side, but at the same time, be true to yourself. And
Yeah.
I mean, it's difficult in that situation because we are there to lie and deceit, you know? It's hard not to do that in that situation.
It's the point of the game.
Yes.
Not
And
if you're faithful.
You're supposed to be lied to, and we're supposed to lie.
I was like, if I were, you know, a civilian on the show, I'd also be like, well, they've already been on TV. They must have money. Why do they need to win more? It's like, did you find that was ever a thing that was brought up or no?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
Like, well, you guys are rich. Why are you here?
Yeah,
I mean,
why are you here?
I
Yeah.
think that's a really big thing that people think. You know, they think just because you're on television, you're automatically rich. You can be famous without being rich. It happens all of the time, and the two don't necessarily go hand in hand. And I can speak at least about myself. I know Arie, like we talk, Kate, about our normal lives. None of us are just sitting back, you know, on our private jets. That's not happening.
Yeah.
We are not the Kardashians. You know, we're, you know, trying to make ends meet just like everyone else. I'm a single mom.
It's still
He's
a
dad
lot of money.
3.
Yeah, it's still a lot of money. $250,000
Absolutely.
is a lot of money to me still.
Let's say, Brandi, I saw you recently just being happy that Mason was working. You know, modeling has his signed. Is that nice to maybe have a little alleviation there when it comes to the money now that he's making some of his own?
I mean, he's making his own money. He's still not contributing. I don't expect him to contribute to the household. I personally am not here to fund a 19-year-old's like social life. It's just not.
Yeah.
If you want to do A, B, and C, then you should go get a job and do A, B, and C. But of course, I'll pay for the rent and the food and pretty much we still pay for everything. Don't get me wrong. But I think there's a certain point where having that good work ethic is important. Like I've had jobs since I was 12 years old, and I've always worked. So I feel like I just wanted to instill that in my children a little bit.
Yeah, that's perfect.
And lastly, what do you think the future of your reality TV journey looks like for each of you?
Mine's never ending.
Right. I know Kyle said she wants you back on Housewives, so let's make it happen.
I feel like there's been a big push for that. So yeah, you know, for me, I'd like to do something with Lauren. I think it'd be really cool to do something together. We took time away from television to, you know, get married and start our family. And now we're kind of getting at a point where it's getting a little easier being parents of 3. So we'd like to do something.
Well, this is a nice way to tiptoe back into it. I can't wait to watch the rest of this season. It seems like it's going to be a really fun show. So thank you both for your time.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.